Hi, this is Allison Malika, and I'd like to share with you some quick tips for using the new Google Forms, which is not so new to everyone, but many are still not really comfortable with the new interface. Now, I'd like to have you go directly to the Forms app. We so commonly go to Drive to create a form, but like Docs, Sheets, and Slides, there's actually a Forms app you can go to. If you see it on your app launcher or not, if you do, you can click on it. If you don't, scroll down, make sure it's not down here. If you're anywhere on the web and you want to get to it, just type in forms.google.com, and it will redirect you to the Forms app, okay? So access it from your app launcher, or just type in forms.google.com and it will redirect you to the Forms app. When you reach the app, you have templates available to you. So not only do I see all the forms in a nice snapshot of what I've created here in my Drive, these are ones I already have, but I can also look at some templates. Up at the top, here's Start a New Form, blank, but I also have templates, and if I click on more, I can see the templates that have been created by category. And they're beautifully created. They're great if you're in a hurry or if you're new to forms and need to get started with more familiar with them. So I'm going to use the t-shirt sign up as my example here. It's very, very plain. And I'll walk you through a few things, introducing you quickly to many of the features. Number one, questions are here, and we'll look at responses in a minute. So if you're used to old forms, it's very similar. To create your questions, you click here and you'll have a choice of, drop the multiple choice, the checkbox, the drop down, the grid, the date, the time, just like before. You can also add a title and description to any part or section of the page without creating a page break. And you can put images and video in your form as well, not within a question yet. I know many of us want that. And you can add a section which is essentially a page break where you could put a question and say, if internally, if you answer that you are a parent, you go to the parent page or parent section. And if you're a student, you go to the student section, and those would have two entirely different sets of questions. So that's more of an advanced feature, but just in case you are looking for that, that's where it is. Up at the top are your add-ons. That's fairly new. When the new forms came out, add-ons were not available. They are now. So when I click on that, the add-ons that I've created are listed here. I'll show you in a moment where to find add-ons. And I'm going to go a little bit further and explain Choice Eliminator since I have the t-shirt sign up here. If you don't want to choose a color for your form, you want more of a decorative theme, you click on the image button here and you can see you have a ton of choices. So you can pick from illustrations, birthday, food and dining, wedding, travel, etc. But you can also upload your photos or look in your photo albums in Google. So that's really, really nice. That's one of the nice features. And computer running a little slow on the internet today. Let's see if I select one. Will it change my theme for me? Loading my theme. There we go. So that was what was I was selecting. Not really a t-shirt sign-up theme, but in lieu of time or taking up extra time, we'll keep moving on. So you can modify by color or images with the color palette here. If I want to see what my form looks like live on the web or actually test it out, I click on Preview, and that brings me to the web version, the version that a user would see. Because I'm a collaborator on the form itself, I see Edit here, which will bring me back to my edit page. And I'll go ahead and take the form while I'm here. I would like a medium t-shirt, and there's a preview of what it's going to look like. And I can put in comments as well. And then I hit Submit. So that's how this form is set up. It says my response has been recorded. This is something you can modify as the form creator, or I can submit another response. So you can see here that responses are here. You don't have the menu that we had before up at the top, but if you click on responses, as a form collaborator, I can see this summary of responses. So as people take the survey, I'll be able to see this graph will change depending on the responses. If I need to view the responses in a spreadsheet, there's the link to the spreadsheet. If I want to turn off accepting responses, I can click on turn off accepting responses here. And if I click on the drop down here, this is where I can get email notifications. Very important. So if you have a sign up or a registration form, you can get an email that notifying you that somebody has submitted to that survey. You can select a different spreadsheet to send the results to if you're going to use the same form many times over. And I can download the responses as a CSV file if I need to import them somewhere else. If I'm going to use the form for a second group of people and I want to reset the graphs, I would delete all responses. It won't delete them in the spreadsheet, but it will delete them on the response page so I can get a fresh set of data for a new class or a new event. All right, so we looked at preview and we took our own survey and we came back to responses. Now I want to go ahead and look at the some of the settings. So you click on the gear. It's a universal icon for settings in Google. And right now, because I'm building this form in a Google Apps for Education domain, it's saying that you have to be logged into my domain in order to respond. And if I want this to be that way, it's great because then I have the option to automatically collect their email address, and I can even limit it to only one response. Okay? But I can also make it available to anyone. And I can also limit it to only one response, but it would require a login. The confirmation page that you can modify is here. So if you wanted to give instructions or a more personalized response when they hit submit, you can. And you can say, I do or don't want them to be able to submit another response, edit their response, see summary of responses. If you have a long form and you want to show the progress bar, you can. And if you want to shuffle question order, you can here as well. So those are your settings. And then over here, I'm going to skip over send and go to the far right where you have your drop down here. You can make a copy of this. Sometimes you may want to make a copy and share a copy with someone else and not have them be a collaborator on this particular form. I can move it to trash. I can get a pre-filled link. So if I need to pre-fill some of the responses and then get a URL for that to send to people, I can. You can print forms. So if you click on print, a lot of people don't print them, but you can always have a backup. If you need, let's say you're always wondering if the internet's going to work at your school and you use forms quite a bit, you can have one printed copy of your form for an emergency, and then if you do need to make paper copies, you could. So I don't want to print my responses. I want to print my form, so I'm going to go back here and click on print. I didn't realize I had that set up. And you can see that I've got even, fillable prints, so I can go ahead and print that out. And the nice thing about this is that you have the option to print the form or print the responses depending on what you've clicked on. And the other thing you could do is add collaborators. So if you want several students or several teachers are working together to create a survey or a quiz or an assessment or a review, you can do that. And finally, add-ons are available here. So if you want to add functionality, I'm going to show you how you can use Choice Eliminator before we go. There are a number of form add-ons here. They may come recommended to you, or you may just decide you want to come in here and shop around and check it out. If you do find something you want, you just click on it. If you click on free, it will add it to your forms. You have to go through the steps to accept it. I want to show you Choice Eliminator just in case you're new to forms or new to add-ons. In this case, let's say that for shirt size, we are going to take requests. We have 10 extra small, 10 small, 20 medium, 20 large, and 10 extra large. And when those are gone, they're gone. You know, that's all we have. So how can we set up our form so that when the extra smalls are all taken, that's no longer an option? Well, to do this, I'm going to use an add-on called Choice Eliminator. And I'm going to select it, the shirt size, because it's multiple choice. And I'm going to ask it to please take away those when they're used up. So in this case, I say, okay, I want to use shirt size. I want to check this box. So now I'm going to eliminate choices. I could, if it was just one choice, I had one of each, I could leave it this way. But in this instance, I have more. So I can go ahead and configure that. I'm going to say I have 2 extra small, 10 small, 10 medium, 20 large, and 20 extra large. I know I said something different earlier, but I recounted. And I have other options as well, but I'm going to leave it at that and go ahead and close that up. All right. So now you can see if I click on this, you can see the options that I've set up for it. Now it's all set to go. And I click on close. And now I'm going to take my own form. And remember, extra small, we only had 2. So I'm going to say that this is S. I want extra small. And submit. And I'm going to go again, extra small, submit. Oh, it's going to be A. And now I want to submit another response, and extra small is gone. Okay? Because remember, I only gave 2 there. So that's how that works. It's called Choice Eliminator, and it gives you, that way you can set a limit, or you can have it eliminate each individual item as it's selected. It's great for signups for parent conferences where you want that one time block to be eliminated when somebody checks it out. And finally, before you go, send. So with send, you have the option to actually email it. You have a link, a URL you can share. This link can be posted on your website. You can click on shorten URL and get a shortened URL. You can post it to Google+, Facebook, and Twitter, all from Send Form. So if you need to get it out to a crowd quickly, maybe you're crowdsourcing to gather some data, or maybe your students are, have them add you as a collaborator. If you're building up your network within your educational community, well, you can get other educators across the world to give feedback to you and your students so that you can work with some real-time data. All right, well, that's all for now. Hope that this Google Forms update was helpful for you. And if you have any questions, always you are welcome to email me at alicemalika.com or just send me a tweet at @amalika on Twitter, and I'll get right back to you. Thanks for watching and have a great day.